What's up? What's happening, folks? Welcome back to the channel, Sports, Life, and Politics TV. I'm Samuel Koppel. I'm here for the news. Now, a few months ago, I covered a story of Nancy Pelosi's house being broken into and her husband, Paul Pelosi, being attacked. And in that video, let's take a look. I made this video 2 months ago. As you can see, this video in the middle. Worst security in the world. Obviously, I was being sarcastic. And in the video, I alleged that this whole thing was staged. And it took a long time for them to release the body cam footage of the police officer because they want to go over and review it and see how many people they can get to buy this complete bullshit. Now I got a homeboy of mine, JB, Hooligan TV, who says common sense ain't common no more. And that's true. But by God, some of us still have a lot of common sense. There's still a few of us out there. And when you watch this video that's been released, it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, if you buy this, I got a bridge to nowhere to sell you. I got water to sell to a whale. I got ice to sell to an Eskimo. I mean, this is so ridiculous, you guys. Some things are obvious to some. To some people, they need a little persuasion. They need to see more evidence, and I get it. But some things you only got to see once. But this whole thing was staged, and there's no doubt about it. Let's take a look. Let me rewind it.
For the first time, we are seeing the moment police showed up at the home of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to find her husband being attacked by a disturbed home intruder with a hammer. We should warn you, the video's graphic and shows just how terrifying the incident was.
It's just released body cam footage of the vicious attack on Nancy.
Now I'm gonna let you watch it, but I'm gonna go back. Because I guarantee you, for some of y'all, it's going to be some things that you didn't catch. You're going to say, I didn't even see that shit. Then let you know that allegedly this whole thing was staged.
Pelosi's husband, Paul, from last October. When officers get there, Paul Pelosi, dressed in boxers and a pajama top, is in a desperate fight to get a hammer out of the hands of the suspect, 42-year-old David DePav.
Drop the hammer. Nope. Hey. What is going on right now?
Suddenly, DePav violently strikes Pelosi on the head. The men fall to the ground as cops quickly work to cuff the crazed attacker.
Now, I'm sorry, I try to keep my composure in some of these videos. I really do. Because I really want to do the news in a professional way, but some of this shit is so hilarious and so ridiculous that it just makes me bust out laughing. Now what? The officer opens up the door. I mean, they open up the door. The officer says, what's going on here? You bitches is a sitting U.S. Senator's house that has called the 911 and reported a break-in. What the fuck do you mean what's going on here? Nigga, I'm like the nigga on Friday too. My antennas is already fucking up. Where was your antennas, officer? Number 2, Paul Pelosi had a shot of vodka in his hand. He had some kind of drink in his hand. You not fending off no motherfucking attacker with a vodka and cranberry juice in your fucking hand. Get the fuck out of here. Number 3, they didn't start wrestling until after the officer asked a particular question. We're going to watch it again now they laid out all this evidence for you. Let's watch it one more time.
Of the vicious attack on Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul, from last...
Look, wait a minute. Look at his hand. Some a bitch got a glass of water, vodka, I don't know. But he has a glass of something in his hand. In the history of mankind, you ain't never tried to fight off an attacker in your house with a drink in your fucking hand.
October, when officers get there, Paul Pelosi, dressed in boxers and a pajama top, is in a desperate fight to get a hammer out of the hands of the suspect, 42-year-old David DePav.
Drop the hammer. Nope. Hey. What is going on?
Suddenly, DePav violently...
Then the police officer asked, "Hey, what is going on right here?" I mean, you got to be fucking kidding me. So you telling me that it's this easy to get into a sitting U.S. senator's house? Let me answer that question for you. No. You telling me when the sitting U.S. senator husband calls the police, they show up asking Forrest Gump-like questions? No. You got to be out of your fucking mind. Hey, the NSA, the CIA, the FBI, what's the motherfuckers that guard the president? I can't. Everybody is tapped into those cameras. Why? Because these people are extremely important. The algorithms go off immediately when that man walked into the backyard. So they already knew. That's why I say this whole motherfucking thing is a bunch of bullshit. But let's watch it again. I'm gonna let it run through.
42-year-old David DePav.
Drop the hammer. Nope. Hey.
When he said no, they could have blew his head off. Allegedly staged.
What is going on?
Suddenly, DePav violently strikes Pelosi.
And let me tell you, hey, wait a minute.
As cops quickly...
Did you notice when he swung the hammer, the video was edited? Huh? Did you notice when the hammer was swung, the video became edited? We'd never seen him actually get hit. Watch.
Nope. Hey. What is going on?
Suddenly, DePav violently strikes Pelosi.
You see how it jumps from one scene to another? You never seen him get hit. He never really got hit. Let me ask y'all a question. From the time he called the police to the police got there, how did he get a drink in his hand? And how did they get to the door where he's holding the hammer? And it was a rubber mallet. Man, this shit's so motherfucking wacky.
Fall to the ground as cops quickly work to cuff the crazed attacker. You can hear disturbing moaning from the 82-year-old Pelosi. The just-released footage starts with the suspect scoping out the Pelosi's San Francisco home shortly before the attack. From his backpack, he pulls out a...
And let me say this. Nancy Pelosi ain't no first-term U.S. senator. Nancy Pelosi was the fucking Speaker of the House. If you're going to guard anybody's house out of all the senators, she's not a fucking first-term congressman from Wichita. This bitch is from San Francisco. One of the most liberal fucking places in the world. They're going to protect her shit at all costs. Listen to me, you guys. I have to use the word alleged, but 100% this whole thing was staged, allegedly.
Hammer and shatters the window. Prosecutors say DePav broke in and woke Paul Pelosi screaming, "Where's Nancy? Where's Nancy?" In a just-released 911 call, Paul Pelosi keeps calm while trying to alert cops of the danger.
And what are the chances that a 42-year-old man can hold the hammer all the way until the police get there? This guy right here that you see, this is what you call a drone. His whole life was for this moment. This guy is what I like to call a MK Ultra robot. If you looked into his past, I'm talking about his real past, not the shit they gonna give you on TV. If you was able to look at his social media, his psychiatric doctors, the medication he's been on, you say, oh my God, yes. This whole thing is 100% staged. But you don't get none of that. We don't get to see none of that. They give you this bullshit video. They ought to be ashamed. This man came to the door with the police holding a hammer and a vodka and cranberry juice. I will say a straight vodka. And he's able to hold a hammer from a fat slouch, 42-year-old MK Ultra drone robot. This is ridiculous.
I'm just filming here, just waiting for my wife to come back. Nancy Pelosi. Is the Capitol Police around? They're usually here at the house protecting my wife.
No, this is Capitol Police.
No, I understand. He thinks everything's good. I've got a problem.
And let me tell you this. When you're the husband of a sitting U.S. senator, you have special phone numbers you can call. You don't have to call the San Francisco Police Department. I mean, you can. But believe you me, they have special procedures in place for circumstances and situations just like this. But this whole thing was a ruse. This whole thing was fabricated, and this whole thing was staged. And if you can't see that, you blind as a bat, and it's dark as a mole for you. Because this is absurd.
He told me to put the phone down, and you see what he said. You must get that off the phone. Okay?
5 weeks after the attack.
So he tells the police officer, I'm going to get the hell off the phone. If anything, you will stay on the phone.
Paul Pelosi received a standing ovation at the Kennedy Center Honors, where he wore a black hat and gloves to hide his skull fracture and hand injuries. Nancy Pelosi's...
He wore a black hat and glove to hide his skull injuries at 72. Do you know what it takes to take you out at 72? The common flu. Hey, you know how many common things could take you out at 72 that ain't a fucking hammer? Man, I mean, come on, you guys.
spoke out today.
I have not seen the break-in, and I have absolutely no intention of seeing the deadly assault on my husband's wife.
And politicians are nothing but paid actors. And everything they do basically is a lie. They live one big lie. Like I said, being a politician is like crawling through a sewer line in an all-white suit and trying to come out clean on the other side. This is absurd and ridiculous, but it is what it is.
Says it will still take more months for her husband to recover.
And I've said this in other videos, you know, Lucifer, this bitch is a Luciferian too. And their color schemes is black and white, all red, red and white, shimmer and silver. You'll see particular color schemes out of these people. All black or red. It depends on the moment and the circumstances on what the color scheme is. But it's 3 or 4 different color schemes time and time again.
Which factored into her decision to step away from leadership
All white, yeah.
in the House. Days after the horrific attack, Donald Trump joined a chorus of conspiracy theories about the break-in.
It's weird things going on in that household in the last couple of weeks.
Megyn Kelly had also questioned the attack.
I know enough to smell a rat. There's something going on here that they're not telling us.
Now, after today's release of the footage, hopefully the bizarre conspiracy theories will be laid to rest.
What is going on?
You got to be out of your fucking mind if you think the conspiracy theories are supposed to be laid to rest. Oh, they only just begun. Starting with Sports, Life, and Politics TV. Where we ask the questions nobody else is asking. Maybe other people is. I don't know. I haven't watched no other videos on this. I don't have to watch other people to come up with common sense fucking answers. Period, point blank. I'm not one of these people sit around and be like, oh, I'm gonna watch this guy's video and that guy's video and then I'm gonna give my perspective. Hell no. I can look at this shit one time and tell you this shit's a ruse. Something's rotten in Denmark. Paul Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi, this whole thing was staged. Period, point blank. You say, why was it staged? This happened during the primaries. It was used to gain some kind of goddamn traction because the Democrats were struggling in the primaries. And don't forget, now we know that they knew within the FBI that Joe Biden had a bunch of hidden documents. It's a lot of shit that goes into this. It really does. But Nancy Pelosi's full of shit. Paul Pelosi's full of shit. You see, 72-year-old, he got hit in the head and hammer, and 2 days later, he was up with a black glove on and a hat, hiding his skull fracture. Get the fuck out of here. But I appreciate you guys tuning in, man. This has been Sports Life and Politics TV. I'm Samuel Koppel. I'm here for the news. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe. I just took your ass. Don't fall for anything that they say in the national media ride. Peace.